Excellent. I think we're fine. You can see the screen. You can see me. I can see you. Looks like
Very
everything's
well.
fine. Excellent.
All good.
All right, Patty. I'm really glad that we're starting this certification. So the first part is gonna be more simplified for you because you've been already to my presentation on the culture. Is that right?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So then maybe if you have already some questions, we are gonna go over some of the slides that you already saw. But then we're going to continue with each of the skills. So today is the first skill number one, that we're going to talk about, values, purpose, and how is that part of the connection, which is the first dimension that we're going to see. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Excellent. All right. So far I checked with the IT team for the app. It should be working now. There was an update missing, so you can check if you can access now to the courses. If not, let me know, and I will keep pushing
Sure. I will
to
do
make
that.
that happen. Okay.
Sure. No problem. Sure.
All right. Okay. So let's move on then. Well, of course, I want to make this really, really dynamic for you. Okay. I don't want to make it that I'm the only one speaking. So I invite you to, ask questions, say whatever you think you need to say. Maybe you have examples, maybe you're not sure how you can implement this in your company. So just speak up. This is yours. This is all yours.
Absolutely.
This is your time.
Sure. Absolutely. I'm excited.
Excellent, excellent. Do you have any questions before we start, or anything that you'd like to,
Uh,
you know?
no, I'm ready. I'm sure I'm ready for you. The floor is yours. I'm here to learn now. I'm ready to learn.
Wonderful, excellent. All right, so let's move on. As you know, the workforce today is dealing with a lot of changes that have to do with constant innovation, a lot of movement, products that are more customized. Clients want everything customized, individualized for them. So all these challenges ask for working in teams. So this is not something that only one person in a team can define. In the past, we would think that the leader was the one knowing everything in a team, right? Then the rest just had to do whatever the team leader was telling them to do. Or the same in the hierarchy of the organization. You have the CEO, the president, and they know more than all the people that are under them, right? In speaking in terms of the hierarchies and the official structure of uh, a pyramid or a triangle, right? Well, what we've discovered is that this is not enough. So no one knows everything nowadays, and we need different perspectives so that you can have more customized products, and you can have more innovation. So that means that you need diverse teams. Diverse means different things. Could be from different regions, from different ages, from different backgrounds, from different races, from different genders, from different knowledge too. It's not before it was very common, or even now. Now most of the companies are organized by, oh, you have this group of accountants, or you have this group of engineers, and you never have in those groups people that are from different aspects of the business, right? So the idea is from now on that we start having groups that are not organized by knowledge, or what area, but what is it that you need to build, right? So ideally you could have a team that you need an engineer, you need an IT guy, but you also need an accountant to see the finances, how that makes sense. You need also a quality engineer. You may need an HR person, because you need that team will be more autonomous and will need to do more things. but they need to think together. They need to realize, well, yeah, I mean, we need to build this product, but in order to build this product, we need to consider the customer, right? But we also need to consider what kind of employees we need to build this product. So that's why you need different backgrounds. Accountants can know everything, engineers can know everything. No one is able to know everything, but it's better that you have these diverse teams. Okay. So now, in order for all these three things to work, we need self-organization, because these diverse teams, to be more effective, they may be like us. You are in Saudi Arabia, is that right?
Yes.
And I'm here. And how is it that today we connected? Because,
Yeah.
well, I sent you a calendar invite, right? And you knew that you need to connect at this time. We set up some cadences. I told you, well, it's better that we just try to, do every Tuesday at the same time, so that we all commit to that time. So those are kind of behaviors that seem normal, but that's part of self-organization, and many organizations don't have that. They're just waiting for instructions from a team leader or someone to tell employees what to do. So the problem with that is, yeah, sometimes it's good. You have someone that will tell you what to do. You just can chill and relax and wait for that. But the problem is that sometimes you will have a lot of extra time because that person is not here, or you work super fast, or for some reason you don't have have a job to do, and your coworkers do, but you're just waiting for instructions, right? You're just chilling, with your arms crossed and doing nothing. And sometimes you have a lot of work and you really don't feel like doing it. You are stressed, you have other problems at home, or you are very you have one challenge at work that is very difficult, and you cannot do all the other tasks. And these are things that only you can know. Your leader can know everything. So why is it that we're still asking someone else what needs to be done, when there are many decisions that we can make on our own and would make us more effective?
Right.
So that's the kind of things that we need to consider. Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely agree with
Mm,
you.
yeah.
But I like the way when you mention mix of interest, mixture of or hybrid team, accountant, engineer, quality, data analytics, etc., that make current organization nowadays.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but the problem is that not many organizations are this way, unfortunately. With COVID, this kind of changed a bit. It's going into that direction for many organizations, but most of them are not working this way. And that's why we're having all these bad statistics. Right? A lot of people quitting their jobs, a lot of money at the table that is being lost. And one of the reasons is really like leaders are not ready for this. Employees need a more individualized experience to feel happy at work, and leaders don't know how to provide that because they were always told, okay, this is what you need to do. Like they were telling their employees what to do, but also they were told what to do. So they were not very autonomous. So here, you read on the news, and I've been writing for Forbes, for I still can write for them, and I wrote all these articles talking about, you need to speak up, you need to say, how you feel about your challenges, how you're feeling at home, that you're having, you're stressed, but your leader doesn't know what to do with that.
Yeah,
They don't know because they were not trained that way. They went to
true.
a leadership training, but the leadership training didn't tell them these things.
Yes,
Most of
absolutely.
them, yeah, they feel unprepared for the roles, even for just the basic things like delegating or having difficult conversations. They wish they had more training, but they don't have on these specific things. Mm.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree with
So
you. Yeah.
that's kind of why the weight culture certification was born, just kind of trying to fill this gap. But really, it's impossible to fill a gap that is so big. So basically, with the certification, what I'm trying to say is, okay, these are all the things that you should know or you can do. So you need to to keep digging on how to get this done, but at least you are aware of the things that maybe you need to practice, or you need to learn, or you need to find out more. If you are not aware of them, you don't know about them, you never even think about those. You just think that the employee is wrong.
Right.
And that's kind of the awareness that as we culture champions we're trying to bring to the world. Okay,
Sure.
trying to
Yeah.
help leaders see these kind of things. Again,
Right.
we're not right, we're not, nobody is right or wrong, but these are the kind of things that employees are expecting.
Sure.
So one of the things that employees are expecting is to, feel part of something bigger. So we have to basically, we have teams, we have leaders, and we have an environment, which is what surrounds the leader and the teams. And that is kind of what drives the culture of the company, kind of drive this culture, basically behaviors, the things that people do every day. But they are done because of something. Mhm. So this is something that you can drive intentionally, or you can just be what it is. Mhm. So every company has the culture. There's no like, oh, my company doesn't have a culture, right? Every company, every organization, even your home, your school, everything has a culture, which is how people tend to behave. So when you talk
Yes.
to them, they look in your eyes and listen to you, or they just yell at you, or they just don't listen to you and start talking themselves. This is kind of a behavior, right? Or when you meet with someone, do they show up at the right time, or they don't, they just are late, or they are not there, and you keep waiting for them. These are part of behaviors that you see in a company. You probably know things in your company that you see very often, and everyone works that way. Do you think about something that reminds you that?
Well,
Mm,
I agree with you. I think you put something so nice, which is how people tend to behave, and
mm,
also as a culture like that makes people part of something. So basically, people need to be part of that type of environment, ecosystem, understanding it and be part of it. Absolutely, I support that, and I agree with you.
yeah, yeah. So the thing is that what kind of environment we want to build, right? How we would like people to behave. We want people to be more uh, team oriented, or we want people to compete and be super tough with each other. You want people to be more close, or want people to be more open. Hmm? What do you
Yeah.
want? And that's the culture, right? But again, what I'm trying to say is that we can build that intentionally or not. We
Right.
can't just let it happen. So if we don't train our leaders, different leaders will drive their teams in different ways. And that's what culture is gonna be. You're gonna jump from one team to the other, and they're gonna be super different. And that will make it really difficult to follow through goals in the company, because you know team members will
Yes.
not be aligned. In a meeting you will listen to each other, in another meeting no one will listen to each other. So it's kind of more complex to align people. But
Agree.
when you have something that you have predefined, okay, I want leaders to be open, I want leaders to listen to employees, I want leaders to coach employees, not to tell them what to do. You have to build that. So you have to train the leaders, you have to train the small teams to work that way, and you have to build an environment that allows that to happen, right? And that's how you're going to get that culture where everyone will listen to each other. But in order to get that culture, you need to work on those three items first. Hmm?
Right. Right.
So, what is to build a we culture? Basically, it's defining an intentional culture that makes it easier for team members to be engaged. Hmm? So, again, when we define a culture in a certain way, we are going to define some behaviors that we want people to do, and we need to make them part of how they work every day. Hmm?
Okay.
So the way we're gonna see this we culture is that we think that we can drive more innovation, we can drive more quality, more engagement, and more agility with all these 12 skills that we're going to review. Mm?
Sure.
And how? Because basically, what we're going to try to show is that everyone will care more about their environment, will care more about their coworkers, about the customers, about the suppliers. So everyone will be more aware of themselves and everyone that is around.
Right.
And how we do that? Through more connection, through attention, respect, and empowerment. Hmm?
Right. Care model.
Yes, the care model, exactly. So this care model isn't something that is well, it's something new that I have created, but many of those thoughts are rooted in just Deming. Many of the if have you read Deming? Do you
I know Deming. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're a quality engineer, Fadi.
No, I'm laboratory. VP of a quality department.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm
So
familiar with it.
you're familiar with Deming, right? So
Yeah.
one of the things that Deming is not very well known. So basically, he's well known for the PDSA. He's
Yeah.
well known for the control charts, but he is not very well known for the system of profound knowledge. Have you heard about it?
No.
No. So the system of profound knowledge is something that he kind of reorganized at the end of his life. It was he published that in his latest book. That really the book was written by him, but was published after his death in 1993. He didn't get to publish it, but it was mostly written down. So in the system of profound knowledge, he tried to summarize kind of what I did now with all my knowledge. Well, he did that at the end of his life, and he summarized all the things that he had discovered. But the first appreciation for a system was exactly that. He always talked about systems, that everything was connected, right? That you cannot ask a leader to do something without being, contacting the employees and see what the employees think, building a network within the company, seeing how, if you pay someone in a certain way or you remunerate someone in a certain way, that's going to have an impact on how they work, and that's going to have an impact on how the client see the company. So that's kind of the things that he was always trying to explain, that were connected. So that's the same thing that we're seeing in the connection dimension that of the care model. Then he talked a lot about control charts and all that, and he put that into the knowledge about variation. And that's the second part of his system of profound knowledge. And one of the things that he was talking about is, yes, we need to have control chart. That's a good tool. It helps us to identify what's right and what's wrong. But the problem is not stopping just there. We need to understand why we have those problems, and how we can help people to overcome those. So that's when we have the attend people, because many companies are falling into, yes, we need to care about processes, we need to care about control charts, but that's nothing if we don't care about the people that is doing those. So we
Yes.
need to understand, what does it mean that someone is falling behind. So if it's falling behind, do we need to kick him out?
No. Absolutely. I
No.
agree with you. No, we should not.
We need to understand what's going on, right? Why is it this
Absolutely.
person is falling behind? Is there anything that we
Yes.
can do? Is there anything that we're doing wrong that we could do differently? Maybe that person knows
Absolutely.
something that we don't know.
Absolutely. Agree. Engagement.
Yeah. And then engagement, right? How do you do that? How do you like you go from focusing on the results, but then you need to focus on the people. How you do that? You need
Absolutely.
to, focus on the psychology, which is also something that Deming came up with.
Right.
You need to understand the differences of the people, why they are different, what can they bring to the table, understand and listen to them, coach them.
Right.
And that's something that companies are lacking a lot, right? That's
Yes.
why we're seeing all these Black Matters movements and all these shootings and all these things, because people um, they try to defend themselves, but they don't try to see what the other people can bring. Mm.
Right.
Yeah. So that this is a very big topic that needs to be tackled.
Right. Right.
And the last part that we're missing. So far we're seeing that the appreciation for a system is kind of, the brain of the organization. No, sorry, not the brain, but the intuition of the organization, right? So the soul, things that are kind of more, values, purposes, things like that. Then you have the brain of the organization, which is the attention or the knowledge and variation, right? Where you see, okay, kind of, the numbers, statistics, risk, things like that. Then you also need to think about the heart of the organization, the emotional part, which is important. The people, how do they feel? It's not only what they know, but how they're feeling, their well-being.
Yes.
And the last part has to do with how you take all that to an action. It's not just words, but really, doing something about that, and meaning empowering people to work, really. And this is what for Deming was the theory of knowledge, which he was saying, okay, we have this knowledge, but how do we implement it in real life? And that's where he was saying, talking about the PDSA. Many people talk about the PDCA, control, and let's see for control, but he was more prone to say PDSA. That's what really he taught, and then it changed over time.
Right.
Because for him that part was about studying. Okay, study something, see what, not just control, but see the why behind that, and then react or change.
Sure.
So that's kind of how all these things are connected, so that you get to more innovation, quality, engagement, and agility.
Good.
And this is going mainly from a me mentality to a we mentality, where maybe in a me you focus on short-term objectives, how, if I do this, maybe the stock option will go higher, but what happens in the long term? Many decisions in companies are done this way. Oh yeah, no, especially for instance, if you pay employees bonuses, or you pay salesmen with incentives, right? What about the other people? They are not getting incentives, right? So
Yes.
salesmen are going to sell something, try to sell it today, no matter how. Maybe they don't even explain what that product is about, just in order for him to sell, right? What happened is, like, he's just thinking of him, like how he can do that so that he can get his bonus. But that will bring a lot of problems to the other employees. Maybe there will be more calls, after the sale, because they don't get the product, or maybe there will be more complaints. It's kind of, the customer will not be happy. There may be some losses because of people that get the product back. So whenever you're thinking of just me, you're not considering who else is involved, or who else is impacted by your actions. Meaning that
Right.
you don't care about the others. You're just caring about yourself, right? So that impacts, decision making, that impacts communication, and that impacts your time management too. Mm. Um,
Absolutely.
so let's do a little exercise so that we can understand kind of how this me and we goes. Okay.
Sure. Sure.
So these are some examples of companies where you see it from a me perspective and you see from a we perspective. For instance,
Yeah.
in a me company, you would have individual offices, so very close. When you close the door,
Yeah.
face-to-face employees, for instance, will get more points or will get more attention, just because they are, I can see them. They are more like me. So I think that they deserve to earn more money, or they deserve to be, you change, or uh, improve in the company, get a better position.
Right.
In our company, you would say, well, yeah, we have face-to-face employees, but also we have remote employees. They all should have the same opportunities. Maybe they don't, not everyone wants to take the opportunities. Maybe some prefer, to stay that way. But some others, no matter where they work, they may be working hard. So they all should have the same opportunities, right? They don't need to be here so that I can see if they're working or not. I can trust that they are doing a good work,
I,
right?
I,
Anyway,
I I do have a question now.
yes.
Um, when we say here, we culture like hybrid workplace, which I, if I understand it correctly, you mean remotely as well as physical. Am I right?
Yes, that's an
Okay,
example. It doesn't mean that it's always we, has to be hybrid, could be.
okay. But you mean having hybrid workplace, is that a plus to a we culture, as I mean as a plus environment? You think, right?
Yes. So again, it doesn't mean that because you're a we, oh, you need to be remote or you need to be hybrid. No, I
Okay.
mean it depends, right? You can be a hospital, you have to be all working, in the hospital, and still
Right.
can be a we culture. But what I mean
Yes.
in there is that when possible, if you are allowing employees to work from home sometimes, or maybe some of them could work remotely forever, why not?
Yes.
So the problem here is why you're gonna do one thing of the other. If you're saying no, I don't want people to work from home because I feel like they're not gonna do their work. No, you
Yeah.
cannot control them. That's the
Uh-huh.
kind of me. I want to see them so I feel that I can control them.
Yeah.
But do they really need to be here? Maybe isn't there's many employees that are benefit with this because they can be in a city that they can pay less taxes, or they don't need to travel, or they don't need to leave their kids.
Right.
Maybe they have. I remember when I was working in a company, or sometimes for clients, you have to travel 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, uh, maybe 3 hours in total. So that's time that you don't spend with your family, or that's time that you spend with your car, that you are in danger, that you're in a risk. Mm?
Absolutely.
Uh, so
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that, oh, you never have to travel, right? Sometimes you need have to travel. You do have to travel. But
Right.
what if you could avoid that? What if you could, just allow maybe moms to work 3 or 4 hours a day, have a short schedule so that they can take care of their kids, or maybe or work while they have babies. I don't know.
Yeah.
There are so many people that they cannot walk. It's really hard for them to go to an office when they are in wheelchairs. What if they could work from home? You would be more inclusive, right? So that's kind of the
Yes.
we culture, trying to say, okay, what kind of work needs to be done? Can I that is it possible for the employee to choose how to work or not?
Yes.
Hmm?
That's
Uh,
that's very nice.
hmm. It's
That's
kind
very
of the same with open desks. Again, some companies may really need the individual offices, but in some others, really, that's hindering communication with the employees. They just close the door.
yeah, yeah. I definitely support this type of exercise or the themes in which to go with the options between whether you want to be remotely, whether you want to be in, or partial with segregation, at least more agile environment.
Yeah, yeah. I was seeing a video of new offices at Google where they were building, offices where they can work, close, more open offices on the other side. Then, and another part, you have other type of, like more, um, you have all, kind of very, you can see the light from outside, from every office,
Yeah.
or from every position, so something that it's more open to everyone. But of course, not everyone, not every company can, or have the budget to that, right?
Yes. Yes.
But still, there are many things that companies can do. I still see plants, for instance, manufacturing companies that you go and they have closed offices for everyone. or maybe the leaders have the closed office and then the other employees have these cubicles, right? um so when you get into the company, it's also quiet. No one is talking. Everyone, they are in
Yes.
their own thing, right?
Yes.
And I get it. I'm a very you know I need attention, I need focus to work. So I really don't like very much sometimes working in open environments because it distracts me. But really, I like to have the option of everything. Sometimes I like to work from home. Sometimes I like, when I need to prepare a presentation or something, to be able to work in an office, closed office, no one bothering me. And when I have the opportunity, have also to be able to work with others, how open space is, so I can work with others or get to know other people.
Yeah.
uh, so
Yeah.
I think that's really where we should go, where we offer uh, everything, so that your work changes. Different things that you need to do require different things.
Agree with
Um,
you.
mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
So can you think about anything else, Fatty, that would be a me versus a we? Maybe something in your organization that you're seeing. Um,
Well, you open a spots here. Shared open desk. I agree with you. The we culture, hybrid workplace, which is optional to the employees. Like one thing that came to me in the we culture is uh, well, mixture environment. I mean, even flexibility in certain times. I mean, start coming to the work. Okay, you give it more agile, and instead of everybody come at 8 o'clock, that will or 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whatever. It could give more flexibility. People come at 11, people come at 10, stay late, whatever, etc. Give days off. Okay, all those start off giving employees little bit more relax. Okay, without jeopardizing the deliverables or quality, of course, of work, but that type of environment where uh, I think Gen Z now, current generation would love to compare with the 60s, 50s, etc. generation like. So, especially now, the new generation, I think, would love to work in that type of environment.
Yes, Fadi, you got very interesting topics there. One, you mentioned the time. Yes, many companies are really focused like, oh, you need to be working from 7 to 5. If not, you're not working, which
Yes,
which is
yes,
not really true. Sometimes, yeah,
absolutely,
I mean, you cannot connect at 7, you can connect at 9, but maybe you can keep working from 5 to 7, in the
absolutely.
afternoon,
I agree
or
with you.
maybe you reply an email at 9 and nobody counts that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so yeah,
I
that's
I
one
agree
thing.
agree with you. Um, those stuff is things. I mean, flexibility, agile environment is more to we culture that will attract more employee, especially is young generations
Yeah, generation.
would love it.
Yeah.
It's totally different than probably old generation. So I support that, and I like this exercise.
Yeah. Yeah. Younger generations, you mentioned it's super important because they will be right now. Millennials are the ones that have, the largest percentage at work. But then it's Gen
Yes,
Zs, and then, the Centennials. They will keep coming and they will have more ideas and things to do, and they want more flexibility. Otherwise,
yeah,
that's what we're seeing. The great resignation is also about that. Many young people they say, well, they are paying me more here in this other company. Well, we don't have the stability that I was expecting in, this oil gas company, but they give me more flexibility. I can go to work whenever I want. I can work whenever I want. I can work from wherever I want.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's great. Like if I can do my job, right? But then there's the other thing about, hey, can you do your job? Are you doing it? Well, that's something different. But that's something that we'll be discussing, always.
exactly, exactly.
Some people are at work all day from 9 to 5 and they still don't get the job done. So you
Absolutely.
wonder, that doesn't have to be just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
at work, you can do your job, right? It's not
Agree with you.
right.
Agree with you.
Mhm.
Sure, sure, sure.
Excellent. Okay, so maybe this is an exercise that you can do with your people. Try to find out what are the things that we have asked me right now, and how we could turn it as a we. Mm?
Sure, I will do that. I think I love it.
Mhm. Okay, so the other thing that is important to understand and how we're gonna do these changes in the culture is that the leaders need to start facilitating interactions to succeed in this changing environment. Again, leaders are not the heroes almighty that they know everything. We may mostly need to think about leaders how to facilitate interactions. So they are kind of the glue. They're kind of the people that will, introduce you to someone, or will help that you get connected with suppliers, with the community. But they are not, or maybe help you interact within the team. But they are not going to have all the answers. That's not the role anymore. Their role is more, as connectors. Mm?
Right. Yes.
So that's why we think that these are the 12 skills that all these leaders need to develop.
Right.
Really, to tell you the truth, this is not just for leaders. Like everyone in the company should be trained on these things. As much people as is trained on these things, it's the better, right? Because they understand that the leader needs to empower, but then you need to take the power. So it's always goes both ways.
Yeah.
But of course, first the employees are looking to the leaders. They are mimicking what they do. That's how culture is transferred from one person to the other. So the first that need to embrace all these things are, the leaders. Hmm?
Right. Right.
So basically, what leaders need to do is try to drive all these behaviors across the entire care journey and across the entire employee experience, from since they are on board in the company until they leave. And we're gonna see later on about the employee experience in when we talk about respect. But at least for you to know that this is kind of a journey. Okay, for instance, when you start a company or when you have a new idea, you will get more on the connection side, right? You need to, define the values. You need to find your team, connect with
Prepare
your
to execute.
team.
Right.
Mm? But then you will start focusing. Once you have that kind of tackle, then you start focusing on results. Oh, I need to get this done. I need to, accomplish this and that and that. So that then you're focusing your attention on the processes. But yeah, here's where you are gonna have kind of a fall. You're gonna feel depressed. You're gonna feel sad. You're gonna feel stressed. So that's where you need to start focusing on the respect. Focusing on the people, on how you feel, on how your employees feel, so that you can, leave that depression and start working again. And once you can achieve that, you can understand how your people feel and think. That's where you will be able to empower them to act and be more autonomous. So this is kind of, it's not always you will always try to strive on the 12 skills, but there will be moments where you will have more of one dimension than the other. And also
Sure.
depend on the employee. Mm.
Sounds good.
Uh, it also depends on the employee, because maybe Fadi, you are more people oriented, and
Yeah.
maybe you will have to work with someone who is more numbers oriented. So that's good. Ideally, you will need to build teams where you have people from the different aspects, so
Uh-huh.
that think together, you work together, and propose things that are good for everyone, because everyone will fall in one of those four at least.
Right.
Some will may fall on two or three. It depends how developed you are, how lower you are. But yeah, so different stages of the company, different stages of the person,
Right.
different abilities.
Sure. Sure. Got it.
All right, so let's move on to the connection, which is the first part,
Yeah.
and try to see how it works. Mainly, what is the value of this connection dimension? The value is that you have to see the company as a whole system of interactions. It's just not that the sales team versus the production team or operations, right? As I said before, if you have a team where you have people from different backgrounds, different aspects of the business, you can see better this connection. But it's not always possible. Sometimes you still need to you cannot change that in the company. Well, try to think about how it works. Imagine in a healthcare system, in a hospital, right? You don't see three surgeons, right, when you need to
Uh-huh.
get a surgery. Or let's take I was pregnant, I had my baby, so I didn't see four surgeons, right? I saw one surgeon who was my doctor. I saw an anesthesiologist. I saw a nurse. I saw someone that takes care of the baby, right?
Right.
So
Right.
four people, different. They know different things, and they were kind of working together. Mm? So this works in the healthcare system. We can make it
Yes.
work too in companies, right? They think
Right.
about one person. How we make sure that Luciana leaves the hospital with the baby in good condition. Mm?
Right.
So what about thinking the same way with customers? What do we need to do to make this customer happy? Okay, I need to think about the product, but I also need to think about the design. I also need to think about the price. I also need to think about
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of
This
Mhm.
stress involving. That's an I like the reduce the connection, reduce stress and improve well-being. Absolutely.
Yeah, it does because in one way, when you are isolated, that's the main cause of stress for people. They feel like they can trust anyone. They
Yeah.
are lonely. They are the only ones that need to you know have this burden on top of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But when you're working with a team, when you know that I can rely on Fadi because Fadi is for quality, right? I can, focus on HR because he's gonna do this.
Yeah.
That improves my health. I feel like, yeah, I don't need to know everything. I can ask other people, and we can all work together. And then I don't need to compete. Many
Yeah.
companies are dealing with that. Before anything else, their coworkers are competing because they are
Yes.
part of a ranking system.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
first in my team and I am second, but I want to be first because I want to get more money. So I don't want to
Right.
help him. I want to do my own job. And if I can make it difficult for him, I will. But this
Yeah.
is super bad for the organization. Imagine, you
It
have
is.
people competing, trying to, hinder each other instead of trying to help each other.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
but the problem is not the people. The problem is the system is triggering you that. I mean, you want to get more money? Okay, make him look worse. That's what they're
Yes.
telling.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
So basically, to be able to improve the connection, you need to share the purpose and the values. You need to nourish your network, and you need to normalize change. Hmm? So let's try to focus on the first one, which is how to share the company purpose and values.
Yeah.
So a good example of this, I don't know if you said you read the book with culture, right? Or
Yeah,
you are reading it.
almost close to the end. Not yet, but I finished almost half of it. Yes.
Oh, okay, good. So you'll see many of the things here are in the book, and you will remember them. Maybe you can go back today to the first chapter and reread it. Mhm.
Okay.
So in the first chapter, I talk about this. I bring this example of this company in India that wanted to, change their purpose and their culture. And the first thing they thought about, okay, what is our purpose? So instead of just having the leader or the owner of the company or the board define the purpose, they said, let's talk about this with the employees. Try to think what is the purpose for them. So this is a good practice. Try to open that to everyone in the company and see how that works. This is not the only one that did it. Many did that, and it's working well because it keeps employees engaged. They feel part of something bigger, right? They feel part of the company,
Yeah.
and they kind of define the purpose for them was good health can wait.
Yeah.
So because they defined this purpose, it was clear for the employees what was important. So if they had to make a decision that was good for health, or it was better for making money for this only for this operation, they said, okay, this is better. This decision is better for health, so I'm gonna take that decision. Mm.
Right.
So it's kind of this purpose guides them towards the right direction. I mean, the right or wrong, nobody knows what's right and what's wrong, but this is the direction they define to take. Okay.
Yeah.
And a purpose helps employees understand what is that. So it's more important to make money than to help people, or it's more important to help people than to make money. In this
Right.
case, it says good health can wait. So whatever you do, make that happen. Okay.
Yeah.
For instance, Google says that their mission is to uh, provide information or have access to information to everyone, something like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to lie because it's not exact words. So
Yeah.
every mission, the mission of the employees is whatever product you propose needs to meet that mission. Is it sharing information? Yes. So Google is sharing information. Gmail is sharing information. Meet this system to record. It's sharing information. So yeah, good. You're in the right direction. You're offering something else. Well, it's not in part of the purpose. So you already know your answer. This is not right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm. So
I
it helps.
like I like one of the example in your book about the company. What's so called that company? Uh, I forget when you say wow. We need to create wow culture.
Yes, we're gonna talk
Uh,
about that now.
yeah, right. Oh,
That was
by the way, I read it in your book, and then I go to their website, and I found exactly what you wrote is in their website.
yes. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me show you that. So in order to get to that, you need to get everything aligned, right? So the company purpose needs to be in one way, but the leadership purpose needs to be aligned too. Okay. So you want the purpose of the company to, good health first. Okay.
Right.
So the leader's purpose needs to be aligned to that. Need to, facilitate that. They need to know, you want them to micromanage, or you want them to be more open-minded and facilitators. Mm? So that's kind of what the values and the purpose need to drive, so that leaders know what is their own purpose. Mm? And also that needs to be aligned with the team's purpose. Mm? They need to know how what they do is connected to the purpose of the company. So, like you said, for Zappos, wow the customer. How
Yeah.
am I gonna do to wow the customer? Is it my job doing that? Or should I just follow the script that the company gives me? Well, maybe I need to, move off from the script if that will wow the customer. Mm?
Right.
So it helps employees make decisions instantly. Is it this right or wrong? Well, check the values, check the purpose, and if they are aligned, you're good. Mm?
Good. Agree. Yeah.
So everyone needs to know how they are connected also to their own purpose. And that's why also many companies nowadays are very focused on how they communicate their values and how they are connected to sustainability, to diversity, so that employees say, okay, no, I want to take care of the environment, so I want to be part of a company that take care of the environment. So they all see how everything is connected, and this can be true. It's
Yeah.
not naive. Many you should be able to connect your own purpose with the purpose of your work, with the purpose as leader, and with the purpose of the company.
Yeah.
It's kind of a chain.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is what you were talking about. You see, I went to visit Zappos. I went there in Las
Zappos.
Vegas. Yes. And they have these 10 values. One of them, the first one, deliver
Yes.
wow through service. Mm,
Wow through service. I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah. But again, they didn't just came up with these values. They talk about this with the employees. We need to come up with the values. What is that you think that the value, the company value the most? And they all came up with these 10 values. And every time they hire someone, every time they evaluate someone, they see if they are aligned with these values.
Okay.
So that's the main thing that you will have to work on with the skill. Not just, hey, post the values on the wall, but do really something about that, right? So for instance, well, you see one of the values is pursue growth and learning,
Uh,
be passionate, be humble, want do more
yeah.
with less.
Pursue growth and learning. Well, do more with less. I love it.
Yeah. And then build a positive team and family spirit, right?
Yes.
How do you do that when you have this?
Okay.
It's very hard.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's a hierarchy of diagram from up down, and that's really
Exactly. Top
not too
down.
difficult. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. That's exactly not a flexible, not agile. It's a hierarchy according to. It's not. It's a solid structure.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, the president is supposed to know more than me. I'm just the associate. I don't know that much, So every time I need to make a decision, I need to go up, and see if they agree, mm,
Yeah.
which is a lot of delay for decision making. It may be wrong decision making because the president doesn't see what I'm seeing. You see the arrow goes down, it doesn't go up.
Absolutely. No.
Mm.
Yeah. I agree with
So
you.
kind of Yeah, so kind of what we need to look for is it's another system, which this is not ideal either, but it's kind of going in that direction, right? Where we are all connected. I say that it's kind of the diamond structure. This is how you can see a diamond from if you see it from the top.
From
mm,
the top. Yeah.
From the top, you can see that all the carats are connected, but the diamond just shines because every part shines, right? It's not just the diamond itself, but every little part needs to shine. And the way they shine, it's because the connections are strong. Every element, every carbon that forms the diamond is very strong connected to each other.
Yeah.
So that's what make it different from a pencil, right? This is a pencil.
Yeah.
This lead, this is carbon too. The same thing, the same element that is forming the diamond. But for
Yes.
some reason, this is super cheap, right?
Yeah.
Cheap and breaks easily, and the diamond doesn't.
Correct.
It's the same element. So you have the same people, but you make them stronger connections, work together better, you're gonna get better results.
Yes, I agree with you. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's nice.
And this is real. This is an example of another company which does that too. They have an inverted pyramid. The CEO is in, at the bottom, and then you have the employees closer to the clients and at the top. Mm?
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I like it. Nice.
Yeah. So
Yuri. Yeah.
basically, what we're saying is that ME culture is just posting the values on the wall. Most of the companies nowadays have values, but they just post them on the wall. They don't do anything with that.
Right.
The good thing is about internalizing the rules, prioritizing the rules, and provide examples to avoid inconsistencies and make sure that they are all aligned. And I'm going to explain what the 7 R's are that need to be aligned. So, going back to the example of Zappos, for instance, deliver well through service. So, it's not just about saying that, but then, ask the employees, hey, what things can you improve upon your work or attitude to wow more people? Have you wow at least one person today? So that means that, yeah, I'm following the value. I'm understanding what that means for my job. Okay.
Yeah.
And then provide some behaviors, some samples like, okay, help even if it's not your job, because that will wow the client and just tell them, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, no, okay, let me find out. I will do
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
for you. Right?
Yeah.
Wow, everyone, everywhere, not just the customer, but your coworkers, your leaders, at home. Uh, so that's kind of examples of how the employee can understand what their value really mean. Hmm?
Agree with you.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
And the last
Seven.
thing, yes, is the 7 R's, which is something that you probably you will read in the book, so you take more time to do this. Is to understand what all these 7 R's and how they need to be aligned, so that you drive the culture the way you want. So the reason is the same as purpose, has to be aligned with the rules or the values, right? Then you have to build routines that will help you achieve that. Like I was saying, okay, how you wow your customer. That's a routine.
Yes.
Wowing your customers, wowing everyone that you have around. Mm?
Mm.
Then you have to align that with your role and responsibility. What is your role? Are you a customer service representative, or you are a leader, or what is your job? How are you gonna wow your customers from your own role? Mm?
Yeah, yeah,
That needs
yeah.
to be clear. Then how are you gonna be rewarded for that? For instance, in Zappos, employees can reward everyone. It's not that you receive a reward from your leader. Maybe I'm talking to you here and someone comes and listen how I'm talking to you and they say, oh, Lucina's doing a great job. I should wow them, and they are going to give me some buckets or, money because they think I did a great job.
Yeah.
So how you reward people is going to say how they're going to behave. So if you're just waiting that your leader is going to reward you, here maybe I'm going to do this a crappy class just because my leader is not seeing me. I don't care. But
Sure.
if you know that anyone can reward me, anyone
Yes.
can see me and reward me, I'm gonna be more careful and try to deliver a good class all the time.
Agree with you.
It's the
That's
difference.
nice. Yes, agree with you. Right.
Then the risk-taking approach is also something very important, right? That's gonna help me. Okay, I can reward Fadi right now, or I can provide a wow service to Fadi, but it's gonna take some money because the product that we offer was crappy, and I need to send you again another pair of shoes. That's gonna cost money. So it's
Yes.
a risk. It's a risk.
Yes.
How's my culture? Is my culture allowing me to take the risk so that I can wow you and I can do what I need to do or not? So that's also very important. What kind of culture are you promoting risk taking or not? Are you punishing people for taking risk or not? And the last part is how you reinforce that, how you train people. Are you training them to take risk? Are you training them to do the values? Are you training them to gain these new skills or not? Or what kind of reinforcement are you doing? And you do reinforcement not only by training but also by rewarding, by telling people, yeah, good, go ahead, or you punish them because they speak up, they say something that they propose something and you just look at them like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're reinforcing them not to speak again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Reinforcing positive things sometimes, and vice versa. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
nice.
So all these need to be aligned. If there's one thing that is not aligned, like the rewards are not aligned, or the reinforcement is not aligned, or the rules are not aligned, then things will fall off because they will not connect to each other. So basically, these are the 7 things that you need to see how you're doing them.
That's good.
Mhm. All right. So to finish today, I would like you to try to
Uh,
think. I don't know
uh,
if you want to work on this in your company
yes.
or in a specific team. Um, what do you want to do? How would you like to implement all these exercises in
Well, I think I would like to implement it in my small team, and then
Mhm.
I'll see how it is, and then so I can apply it later when I do my training programs to other organizations. I want to apply that. Yes.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's follow that. So try to have your team in mind every time we do something. And try to think now about this. Try to think what's the purpose of your team. How, if you also know the purpose of the company, try to see if they are aligned. You don't need to do this on your own, and you can do all this exercise with them. Okay,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
start training them somehow.
Yes.
Try to find if you already have rules defined or not. Maybe you can define them. Maybe you can use the same that the company have, or maybe you can define specific tools for your team. Like I don't know, listen to each other, or be respectful when you talk, or communicate everything. I don't know. You just
Sure.
make your own.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure, sure. I will do this. Absolutely.
and
I love
and
it.
then define your responsibilities. So try to find how is it that you will be able to do all that. How do you think that, like the wealth, right? Okay, try to think, okay, wow is my value, or my role, how I'm going to wow my employees, how I'm going to wow my clients, or things like that. So how, try to think how you can implement those rules.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure.
Okay, so this is your homework. I would like to see this done by on well, by Thursday. That Friday. Sorry. So that's what I
Okay.
told you. When you go to classes, I know in a week you have more work, but
Okay.
then you also keep things fresh. So it's up to you.
Sure. Yeah, I want to do that now. So, yeah, I'll do this exercise now. It's
Mhm.
evening our time now. So tomorrow is Wednesday and Thursday. I'll do this homework with my team tomorrow, and after tomorrow. So, and then that will be hopefully ready on Friday.
Excellent. Perfect. Of course, if
Sure,
you have any questions, you can contact me, or you do what you can, and then we see
sure,
that on Friday. If you don't
sure.
finish, that's
Uh-huh.
fine. At least just show me
Okay,
what you have, and
sure.
this can be an ongoing exercise that you have with your team, right? You can continue later on. Hmm?
Okay. Now, can you send me these slides, or is that okay?
Yes, yes. So these slides I have already uploaded them
Okay.
in the app. So
Okay.
see if you can access there.
Sure.
There's a specific course that is called We Culture certification. So go there. I will be uploading everything there,
Okay.
every slide.
Okay.
So right now, all you're gonna see is the slides for the skill number one. So go
And
and
this is it so this is for personalized access, right? This is so I will see this slides for today in the app.
yeah, you should see them. If not, again, you
Okay.
just tell me, and I'm gonna send it to you by mail and see how make that work.
Sure. I'll do
But
that.
you're gonna have them, no worries.
I'll
Mhm.
do that. I'll do that.
So I
Sure.
recommend is that you can go there. You can go see the book, and
Okay.
if you have access to the courses in the app, I have also gave you access to another course which is called Care Leader or something like that.
Yeah.
So go
Yeah.
there, and you have a lot of recordings of similar things. So
Okay.
you can learn more about this. Mm.
Okay. That's
About
great.
this,
That's great.
you know,
I'll look
it
on
has.
immediately now. I will work on those. I will go to the app. I think I will. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna delete the app, reinstall it again, and get the access. I'll try that again and reach you
Yeah,
tonight. I will reach you shortly after an hour if that worked for me or not.
excellent, excellent. Thank you. Perfect.
Very well. Very well. Okay.
Any other question, Fadi, so far?
No, that sounds good. I'm excited to continue the journey. So, did by the way, the invitation that you sent, was it also included in a Friday one?
Yes, yes. You should have the
Okay.
invite for Tuesdays and Fridays. Again, if
Okay.
you need
Good.
to change it, let me know before,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that I can
No,
move it. If
next
not,
Friday I'm on. I'm in. I'm in. So
great.
I'll be there. Sure. Very
What do you
well.
think
Thank you
about
so much.
the? Sorry.
That's a great. I'm excited for the journey.
Excellent. How do you like
Yeah.
the format? Is this fine? The slides, the Zoom, everything is good, or
Uh,
do
all
you would like to change something?
No, I think all good. I'm following up, and what I'm gonna do is I will, as am I reading every chapter and in the book, and be with you. That's will stick the information and bring the exercise is fabulous. I think, and that's really helpful for the training.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It will help you
sure.
understand each thing and how you can apply it in your company. Yeah.
No problem. No problem. That's good.
What I would
Thank you.
recommend is that you have your own booklet, kind of a book where you keep your notes, keep your exercise. Great.
That's what
And you
I.
keep that throughout the entire course so that then,
Yeah,
you can go back.
yeah.
Excellent.
I'm right. I'm writing, so I'm with you following that.
Wonderful, Fadi. Excellent. I will try to keep it from, don't, so today is a bit late, but try to keep it within the hour so that you
Sure.
know exactly
No,
what to expect. Okay.
no problem. Thank you so much for today,
Wonder-
Luciana.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
All right. Bye
bye.
bye. Thank you. Bye.